Have a good day, dear students. My name is Mayuri Karya. I hope you all are well. Today we will see the part 2 of chapter 2, standard 6, social science civics, NCERT book. The book name is Social and Political Life 1. In this chapter we will see the chapter 2, diversity and discrimination. Inequality and discrimination. Okay, in further we have seen what is the diversity. Now inequality and discrimination we will see. Discrimination happens when people act on their prejudice or stereotypes. That also we have learned what is prejudice and what is stereotype. Prejudice means whatever the thinking, that formation you have made only before this, and stereotype means in a one way means you have fitted the person in a one means formation. Okay, that is stereotype. Like girls, we had seen the example that girls can only speak softly, they should not be naughty, they have to be done the means good behavior, they have to be do the good behavior, everything. Okay, so means this is stereotype. If you do something to put other people down, if you stop them from taking part in certain activities and taking up jobs, or stop them from living in certain neighborhoods, prevent them from taking water from the well or hand pumps, or not allow them to drink tea in the same some cup of glasses as other, you are discriminating against them. Okay, so miss you are behaving them with you are not behaving with them like other, means they are being treated means differently or somehow in a means bad way, so that is called the discrimination. Discrimination can take place because of several reasons. You probably recall from the previous chapter that Samir 1 and Samir 2 were different from each other in many ways. For example, they belong to the different religion. This is an aspect of diversity. However, this diversity can also be a source of discrimination. Groups of people who may speak a certain language, follow a particular religion, live in specific region, etc., may be discriminated against as their custom or practices may be seen as a inferior. Another difference between the two Samir's way was in their economic background. Samir though was poor. These differences, as you have read earlier, is not a form of diversity but of inequality. People who are poor do not have the resource or the money. Okay, so means we have seen that means difference between the two people. Okay, so means they are having diversity, this is a diversity, but when we are treating other people in a different way, that is a inequality. Okay, or discrimination. Now a common stereotype about some Muslim is they are not interested in educating girls, therefore do not send girls to school. However, studies have now shown the poverty amongst the Muslim is an important reason why Muslim girls do not attend school or means drop out from school after a few years. Okay, so means we are having a stereotype, means this thing that Muslim girls are not being sent to school because they are not interested in education, but this is wrong. Means the reason behind that the poverty. Okay, because of that they are drop out the girls from school, or they are not sending them to the school. Now next one, whenever efforts has been made to reach education to the poor, there our Muslim community has shown an interest in sending their girls to school. For example, in the state of Kerala, the distance between the school and the home is not much. There is good government bus services that helps teachers reach school in rural area, and over 60% of the teachers are women. These factors have helped children from poorer family, including Muslim girls, attend school in much larger number. Okay, so means they are not having facility, and because of poverty the people are not sending. If they means getting the proper facility and everything, so they will means definitely send the girls to school now. In other states there were efforts uh, in other states where such efforts not been made, children from poor family, whether Muslim, tribal or so-called lower caste, find it difficult to attend school. Therefore, poverty, not religion, is the cause for non-attendance of Muslim girls in school. Now, from last page we are continuing. In last page we have seen that Samir though was poor. This differences, as you have read earlier, is not a form of diversity but of inequality. People who are poor do not have the resources for the money to meet their basic needs of food, clothing and shelter. They experience discrimination in offices, in hospitals, in schools, etc., where they are treating badly because they are poor. Okay, so because they are poor, they means poverty is not a discrimination. Poverty is a means somehow means their quality, or we can say means they are the people are lacking of resources, but means the way we people are treating them, that is a discrimination. Some people may experience both kinds of discrimination. They are poor and they belong to group those culture is not valued. Okay, so because of some the people are belonging to some community and that is not valued, that's why also they have to felt the discrimination. Tribals, some religious group and even particular regions and are discriminated against for one or more of this region. In the following section, we will look at how a famous Indian was discriminated against. This will help us understand the way in which caste was used to discriminate against large number of people. On being discriminated against, people are engaged in different kind of work like teaching, carpentry, pottery, weaving, fishing, farming, etc. To earn a livelihood, however, certain kind of work are valued more than others. Activities like cleaning, washing, cutting hair, picking garbage are seen as a task. They are of less value, and people who do this work are seen as dirty or impure. This belief is an important aspect of the caste system. In this caste system, communities, groups of people were placed in a sort of ladder where each caste was either above or below the other. Those who placed themselves at the top of these ladders called themselves upper caste and show themselves as a superior. Okay, so means by means caste, we people are upper caste or lower caste, we are discriminated them. The groups who were placed on the bottom of the ladder were seen as unworthy and called untouchable. Okay, so means those who people are means working for means cleaning and everything, the people are being called the untouchable sometimes, and for in Hindi it is called the asprusha. But for Miss Gandhiji has used the word from them, that is Harijan. Okay, so means God's people. So means here means we people are using means being discriminate people in this way. Caste rules were set which did not allow the so-called untouchables to take one work other than what they were meant to do. For example, some groups were forced to pick garbage and remove dead animals from the village, but they were not allowed to enter the home for the upper caste or take water from the village well or even enter temples. Their children could not sit next to children to other caste in school. Okay, so mean in school also means lower caste children are being discriminated. Those upper caste acted in a way which did not give the so-called untouchable the same rights to they enjoyed. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, one of the greatest leader of India, shared his first experience of caste-based discrimination which took place in 1901. When he was just 9 years old, he had gone with his brother and cousin to meet his father in Koregaon, which is now in Maharashtra. Long did we wait, but no one turned up. 1 hour elapsed and the station master came to inquire. He asked us for our ticket. We showed them to him. He asked us why we tarried. Okay, so why we are waiting? We told him that we were bound for Korean, but that we were waiting for father or his servant to come. But the neither had turned up and that we did not know how to reach Koregaon. Okay, so we were sorry, my mistake, it is Koregaon. Okay, I misspelled that. We were well dressed children. From our dress or talk, one could make out that we were children of the untouchable. Indeed, the station master was quite sure we were Brahmin children and was extremely touched at the plight in which he found us. As is usual among the Hindus, the station master asked us who we were with. Without a moment's thought, I blundered out that we were Mahars. Mahar is one of the community which were treated as untouchable in the Bombay presidency. He was stunned. His face underwent a sudden change. We could see that he was overpowered by a strange feeling or repulsion. As soon as he heard my reply, he went away to his room and we stood where we were. 15 to 20 minutes elapsed. The sun was almost setting. Our father had not turned up, nor had he sent his servant, and now the station master had also left us. We were quite bewildered that the joy of happiness which we felt at the beginning of the journey gave way to a feeling of extreme sadness. After half an hour, the station master returned and asked us what we proposed to do. We said that if we could get a bullock cart on hire, we could go to the Koregaon, and if it was not very far, we would like to start straight away. Means by walk the people will go. There were many bullock carts plying for hire, but my reply to the station master that we were Mahar had gone round among the cartmen and not one of them was prepared to suffer being polluted and to demean himself carrying passenger of the untouchable classes. Okay, so because though the people were belonging to the Mahar community, they were not allowed to no one want to take them as a passenger in their bullock cart. We were prepared to pay double the fare, but we found that money did not work. The station master who was negotiating on our we have stood silent, not knowing what to do. Okay, so means the people can pay the double rent or fare, but still they were not allowed to sit in the bullock cart. Okay, so now here the given the story. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, it means born 1891 and means that 1956 he considered the father of the Indian Constitution and is also the best known leader of the Dalit. Dr. Ambedkar found from the right of the Dalit community. He was born into the Mahar caste which was considered untouchable. Okay, so means the people were cleaning the society, means the people work for cleaning the society. Okay, sweepers they are called. They means from that community owned no land and children born to them also had to do the work their parents did. They lived in a space outside the main village and were not allowed into village. Okay, so Dr. Ambedkar was the first person from his caste who completed his college education and went to England to become a lawyer. He encouraged Dalit to send their children to school and colleges. He also urged Dalit to take on different kinds of government jobs in order to move out of the caste system. He led many efforts of Dalit to gain entry into temples. Later in life, he converted to Buddhism in search for a religion that treated all members equally. Dr. Ambedkar believed that Dalits must fight the caste system and work toward a society based on the respect not just for few but for all person. Okay, so means he has been protested against the caste system. Here the term Dalit has been given. Okay, Dalit is a term that people belong to so-called lower caste use to address themselves. They prefer this word to untouchable. Dalit means those who have been broken. This word, according to Dalit, shows how social prejudices and discrimination have broken the Dalit people. The government refers to his group of people as a scheduled caste. Okay, that means SC and ST. Scheduled caste and tribal scheduled caste. Now next, imagine how difficult it would be if people could not move specially from one place to the other. How insulting and hurtful it is to have people move away, refuse to touch you or allow you to drink water from the same source as they do. The small incident shows how a simple task of going from one place to another in a cart was not available to the children. Even though they could pay the money, all the cartmen and the station refused to take the children. They acted in a discriminatory way. Okay, means they were ready to pay the rent or fare, still they have been discriminated by the bullock cart owners. Okay, so clearly as this story show us, caste based discrimination is not only limited to preventing Dalit from undertaking certain economic activities, but it also denies them the respect and dignity given to the others. Starving for equality. The struggle for the freedom from British rule also include within it the struggle of large groups of people who not only fought against the British but also fought to be treated more equally. Dalit women, tribals and peasants fought against the inequalities they experienced in their life. As pointed out earlier, many Dalit organized themselves to gain entry into temples. Women demanded that they should have as much a right to education as men did. Peasants and tribals fought to release themselves from the grasp of the moneylender and the high interest they were charged. When India became a nation in 1947, our leaders too were concentrated about the different kind of inequalities that existed. Those who wrote the Constitution of India, a document that laid out the rules by which the nations would function, were aware of the way in which discrimination has been practiced in our society and how people had struggled against this. Many leaders of this struggle, such as Dr. Ambedkar, had also fought for the right of the Dalit. Okay, so means they people were know that how means Dalit people are being discriminated. That's why they have given them certain provisions in our constitution and some means privileges for means that caste also. So this leader set out a vision and goal in a constitution to ensure that all the people of India were considered equal. This equality of all persons is seen as a key value that unites us all as Indians. Everyone has equal rights and opportunities. Untouchability is seen as a crime and has been legally abolished by law. People are free to choose the kind of work they wish to do. Government jobs are open to all people. In addition, the Constitution also placed responsibility on a government to take specific steps to realize this right to equality for poor and other such marginal communities. The writers of the Constitution also said that respect for diversity was a significant element in ensuring equality. They felt that people must have the freedom to follow their religion, speak their language, celebrate their festival, and express themselves freely. They said that no one language, religion, or festival should become compulsory for all of us. They said that the government must treat all religions equally. Therefore, India became a secular country where people of different religion and faiths have. Here is the member of Constitution. Okay. The freedom of practice and follow the religion without any fear of discrimination. This is seen as an important element of our unity, that we all live together and respect one another. Though these ideals are enshrined in our Constitution, this chapter points out the inequalities exist even today. Equality is a value that we have to keep striving for, and not something which will happen automatically. People's struggle and positive action by the government are necessary to make this a reality for all Indians. Okay, so here is the preamble of our Indian Constitution, which shows a summary of on which basis our Indian Constitution has been prepared. Okay, so we are completing our lecture here. Thank you so much.